You probably want your rewards.
Third degree burns. Yes!
It's
I want my
not
blood
quite
back.
the reward you wanted. Okay, the sanity rewards that I will dish out now. For dealing with John Scott, I've tallied them all up, so you don't need to add them all right now. You gain 4 sanity points for that.
Is this all of us?
Yep, everyone, but I'm giving you a total at the end. You don't need to add them up iteratively.
Okay. I got the last hit though.
Yep, doesn't give you any more sanity. For stealing the gate box, you gain 2 sanity.
You say you're gonna give it the whole numbers at the end, yeah?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
For the general arrests and cooperating with Manningly, you gain 2 points. And for saving James Clark, who you are informed is slowly, when he's now that the immediate threat of the lodge is over, transferred to a conventional hospital, he's making a recovery, physically at least. Mentally, it'll take a lot longer. You gain 3 sanity for that. You gain a total of 11 sanity points.
Yeah, boy.
Which puts, I believe, Violet back up to 46. Am I right?
I have listed as 31.
31. In that case, it puts you back up to 42. It puts...
I shouldn't have said anything.
No. Puts Daniel back up to 37.
Come on,
38.
40.
38. Okay,
Yep.
My mistake. 38. It
I'm
puts...
47.
47... Yep, that's right. And Everett gains sanity. He goes back to maximum. And Schmidt gains 11 and goes up to 33.
Yep.
Violet, you permanently lose 3 appearance.
Rip.
Go down to appearance 8 because you have not insubstantial burns to your face on one side, on the right side, and a little bit down your neck. Those are the ones that won't heal properly. And you also gained a minor phobia, which is pyrophobia.
When you say minor phobia,
As in,
is it the kind of thing where I have to roleplay that, or is it like an actual effect that you'll be like, oh, you've just gone mad? You have to take a sanity
you
check or
won't go
whatever?
mad from like just seeing flames and fireplaces. They're going to make you uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're going to feel nervous around like a fireplace and like bonfires. Like the bigger the fire, the bigger the reaction. If you're dealing with like large quantities of fire, you're going to have problems. It's not bad right now, but if things continue to get, but if things continue, but if you like continue to have really bad experiences with it, it could develop into something a lot worse.
Is it the kind of thing where if I were to take 6 months out and go to a Swiss mountain top, it would be able to heal if I was doing psychotherapy or whatever? Is it the kind of thing where it's just like, this is your character?
This is the thing that you're kind of stuck with.
Okay, cool.
You've literally been set on fire, and unfortunately the appearance is not coming back. So you are now 8 appearance. Stravinsky, you will have, once you've recuperated, a nasty looking scar on your chest.
That's fine.
And Everett, the curious thing about Everett is that he is brought into the hospital and they explain about the symptoms of a heart attack and everything, and they go to have a look and do all the checks, and they can't find anything wrong with him.
Fucking drama queen.
No, like, you know that this has happened. Like, you know, Daniel, this has happened. But...
I know.
But they can't actually see it's good. Like, he's clearly not well, and he's clearly being treated. He's got, like, the symptoms of it, but he doesn't actually have anything else that shows, like, how it's happened. You know it was magic, but you're not going to tell the doctors that.
Faked it.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll for your gains in skills to see if people have gained skill points. We shall start with Violet because she's at the top of this document.
As I should be.
You have actually gained some points in archaeology, would you believe?
I can believe it.
You've gained 5 points, so you go up to 76% archaeology. You've also gained points in large blade sword. You gain 6 points and go up to 57%. This is where it starts to become increasingly unlikely. You didn't gain any increases in library use, but you did gain an increase in occult. You only gained 3 points, though.
That's fine. It's
You're getting
85%.
closer to that 90%. As a note, anybody that gets a skill to 90% or more, for each skill you get a one-time increase in your sanity, 2d6 that I roll.
Is that because you're like a master of a
Yeah,
skill? or something?
for attaining a mastery in that skill, you gain 2d6 sanity.
Oh,
There
pretty
and
good.
then. Daniel, first aid. You actually do gain an increase in first aid.
Nice.
Goes up from 61 to 64, so you gain 3%.
64.
Library use. Don't get an increase in library use.
Okay, hold on, let me 64 to first aid. Okay.
You also do not gain an increase in medicine.
Third.
Yeah, well, the higher the skill goes, the less likely it is that you will gain an advancement. Psychoanalysis, on the other hand, has increased by a whopping 8%. Brings it up
Oh,
to
wow.
45.
Psychoanalyst to 45. Nice.
And spot does go up, not surprising, it's a 25. That goes up by 10 points, and you get 35% in spot.
35%. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
It's time for Strabinsky.
Yes.
You actually gain points in conceal.
Oh, nice.
3. You have
Man hides
53%
behind
conceal.
door, gets better at it.
Listen, that does not go up.
Fuck.
Mechanical repair, that does go up.
Have I used that?
You did use it.
Okay.
It goes up by 8% to 83.
That's a lot.
Yep. Spot hidden, that also goes up by 2 points to 27.
Oh boy.
It's better than none. I'll do Everett.
What about my bleed profusely?
You don't have that as a skill, I'm afraid.
But did you see it? You
I
see
did
the
see it.
blood.
Well,
I'm
on a roll of
gotcha.
100, Everett is definitely increasing fast talk. I'm going to actually mark down like how high these go up for his reference as well. He gains 9 points in fast talk to go up to 75. History doesn't go up. This is the bookkeeping part. It's not going to take that long. Oh, library use goes up to 83. See, everyone's getting better. Slowly
Like it.
but surely. No,
I feel happy.
no occult increase. Persuade goes up by 7%. 73. So that goes up by plus 7%. And that went up. I forgot how much by, but it went up. And listen also goes up. He's got lots of increases here. 9%. For just falling unconscious in the combat, he got a lot of ups.
That's right for some.
And, well, he's a new character. He's very likely to get lots of things up. And Schmidt.
Yay.
Architecture is going up by 9%.
That's
To
46%.
46%. Hide is also going up by 6%. So you now have
86.
86% hide. Listen is also going up by 3%. So you have 72.
72.
Occult. Yeah, I'd be surprised if that wasn't going up. 8% in occult.
23.
23. Spot hidden. Yep, that's also going up. 9.
The 9%.
89%. Sneak is not going up.
Oh.
No sneaker for you, I'm afraid. Right. What you have, I will deal with this now, is you are going to have 6 weeks of downtime. 6 weeks.
Okay.
Does anyone have any idea on what they're going to be doing with that 6 weeks? Bearing in mind that some people are going to need to be healed.
Well, I'm initially going to be performing doctory duties, I suppose.
Yes, you're going to be performing doctory duty. You're going to be helping them out, are you?
And
I'll be laying
I'm
down in my downtime.
And I'm going to spend time on working on my rifle skills.
Okay, you're going to try and work on your rifle skills. Okay. So, what we're going to do is, to begin with, you'll want the doctor to do a medicine roll then.
Right.
Let's see what you
24.
get. 24, right. Are you dealing with all of them?
Well, what's the easiest way? Because I am going to be dealing with them, aren't I?
Yeah, that's all right. That can be a combined medicine check then. That's fine. Makes it a little harder, but you have plenty of medicine. So basically, that will mean that their healing is, instead of getting 1d3 a week, you'll be giving them 2d3 a week.
Lewd.
So from 1 week of recuperating, you're not going to be able to do much else apart from recuperating from this, because Violet, you were on fire. You were attacked with a sword, Strabinsky, and Everett
Fine.
suffered a heart attack.
Yeah, I mean, I had partial burns. I feel like, there isn't that much I actually need to do. I just hang out.
You're still
Yeah, but
recovering.
the other half of her face could do something.
Yeah, but I can lie in bed and read books, man. That's that's practically my lifestyle.
Let's deal with this first.
See if that sword's special.
Until at least you, you all roll individually.
I suppose I'll be dropping off the books to Violet in hospital as well.
Yeah. He's got some books for you.
Exactly. I mean,
Well,
that's
well,
good.
the good news for you, Violet, is that after a week, you're fully healed.
Constitution.
Because yours is mostly burns. Once the burns are treated, there's not much more that they can do. You're looking at your face after the burns have been mostly treated. You see that on the right side of your face and down your neck, there are quite nasty burns. But your hairline is untouched.
That's the important part.
As for Strabinsky, ooh, not bad.
Doctor, please.
Strabinsky, you heal the maximum that can be healed, which is 6, bringing you up to 10.
Oh boy, 10.
Like, you're well enough to be discharged, like, if you're in a
Nice.
hospital. Not bad also for Everett. Everett heals 4 on the first week, and Everett is now, after the week, conscious. Like, he spends a week, like, not really being conscious.
I'm
But
assuming my magic goes up again as well.
Yes, your magic is now back to full. Like, that, you recuperate all of your magic in the course of a day. So,
I've got some power.
there we go. Right, so, Violet's at full, so doesn't need any more healing. Are you going to keep Strabinsky confined anymore, or?
No, what, me?
Yeah,
No need if he's better.
he's
Do we have
mostly
a
better.
crate to stick him in?
He's mostly better. He only needs to heal 3, as opposed to Everett, who needs to heal.
Long as medically I'm happy that he's on the mend. He won't
Yeah.
hurt himself if I let him go.
He's on
That's
the mend.
fine.
You probably think that Everett needs another week, because Everett was a bit more frail.
Aye, fucking.
So another medicine roll from you for Everett.
Sure. 48. Which
48.
Is a pass anyway.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, another week and Everett is up and about again, and pretty much as fine as he could ever be. It's, if you hadn't have known that magic was involved in what happened to him, you would think this is one of the most miraculous recoveries from what happened to him ever. It's gone from, like, being literally on death's door to he is as good as he's ever been. If you hadn't have known magic was involved, you'd be like, what has gone on here? So this leaves 5 weeks for everyone else, and 4 weeks pretty much for Everett and Daniel, really. But Daniel is getting a check on his medicine for this that I'm going to roll. It's only
Aw.
fair.
Oh, thanks, man.
He spent 2
Okay.
weeks treating you all, and he's actually gained an advancement with a 92.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be significant, because you are on, what, 83% medicine?
81% medicine.
81 you've got here, have you?
Does
That's
the
what
tall
I've got. Have
man
you got
gain
83?
any,
I've got 83.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
Does the tall man gain any sanity from helping his mates out in this manner?
Who, Daniel?
Yes.
We're about to find out. Ooh! It wouldn't have mattered if it was 81 or 83 because you gained 9 points in medicine, which puts you up to 92% medicine,
Wow.
which means that you are the
I am a
brand new
savant
owner
of medicine.
of 9 additional sanity gain.
Yay!
So you have gone up to 47
47.
sanity.
God, I'm so fucking sane right now.
Yes, you basically
Dion.
you feel like you have reached a zenith in your medicine skills of treating these
Zenith.
three people with all these differing and serious ailments all at the same time. You're just like, yeah, I could doctor. Super
Doctor,
hard.
please.
So, does anyone else have any ideas? I think Schmidt said that he just wanted to work on his rifle skills.
Mm-hmm.
You want to work on your rifle skills?
What language are those books in?
Okay, all of the books are in English, with the exception of Cult de Ghouls, which is in French.
Ah. Well, that sucks.
Does it?
Violet,
Yeah.
you could actually read one of the books that Daniel has given you in the month of in the 5 weeks of downtime that you have.
Which
You could
one?
actually read one of 2 of them. You could either read Entering the Silver Gate or Catechism of the Knights of the Outer Void.
Oh, I think I'll read Entering the Silver Gate. Sounds cooler.
Sounds cool. It will take you 4 weeks to read.
I'm down with that.
Okay, 4 weeks to read.
Can I do
Right.
anything about my brain?
What
A
about your
question we will
brain?
ask.
Well, can I maybe go to a retreat, yodel, or do kegels or something, get some sanity back?
You would have to either do that, or you would have to have someone psychoanalyze you, a professional.
What, like Daniel?
Daniel is not. He could certainly try, but if he fails, the consequence is that you might actually deteriorate.
Oh.
Yeah, if you have somebody that's bad at it, it could go wrong. Like, you could actually get worse. You could pay for somebody could pay for a professional, as you know, if they succeed.
Somebody looking at Violet.
As a note, if they succeed, the whole month you will gain 1d3 sanity.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not.
worth it.
Healing is a long-term process.
Never mind that then.
Anything else to mind? You're welcome to think on it while I go to other people, because Schmidt, I think, just wants to really rifle it up.
Oh, wait, actually, could I buy Schmidt a well-fitting suit and fedora, given that we now have enough time to actually source such a thing?
Yes, you can now buy him a well-fitting suit and a hat. He was
Good.
looking for one, now he can have one.
Dream is realized.
You are the spivviest of Schmidts.
We need to get him a Tommy gun as well, so he can just really get the whole.
Sorry, how did my rifle go up?
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done that. Is that all you're going to be doing?
Yes. Like I'm just gonna tune out, focus on my rifling.
Yep. Sure.
Am I still able to do bits? Or
You
is
have
it my
like a
medicine
month.
been ticked?
You have a month of downtime.
Okay.
Just thinking. What is your English at? If you wanted to, Daniel, you could read one of the other books. The option is
Yeah.
open to you. You could probably, with your English being really high, I'll have to work out what your percentage of reduction on tomes is, because there's a table for it. Your mythos isn't as high as
My mythos is 19. Did my mythos go up at all, by the way?
your mythos.
'Cause I did get a couple of successes, didn't I, during the
Yeah, your mythos doesn't actually go up from successes of Cthulhu Mythos. You either have to read books or,
Oh,
or
right,
go
yeah, sorry,
insane
yeah,
from
I-
seeing monsters.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, sorry.
Well, it's not bad. It's not a bad question to ask. I've just got to find the section, because of course this book is absolutely all over the place when it comes to certain rules.
No burning wheel, I assume.
This is it. Every education point above. Quick mathematics! Every education point, so that is 3. Your language skill divided by 5. Yeah, you could probably, while Violet is reading and entering the Silvergate, if you wanted to, you could read Catechism of the Knights of the Outer Void. If you wanted to.
Yeah. I'll start
You
reading
could
that.
do
may as well.
something else if you like. I mean, I'm not forcing you. You
No,
can do it.
no. What was the synopsis of that one?
I haven't read the synopsis of this one for you. If you flicking through it, you find this juicy segment. You do not yet know the true gods. Everything you know is a lie. The great old ones are the rulers of the universe. These and others you have not yet heard of will be the objects of your adulation, your emulation, and your tenacious love. You are the fortunate ones. The time may come, if you give your selfless devotion, that you will worship, in the flesh, in the temples of Relay, whose glory is beyond your comprehension.
Yeah, that sounds healthy. Let's do that.
I like that there's a synopsis on the back of the book. in
It's
case
not.
you pick
Well,
it- you-
basically,
you
these
pick
are
it up
these
to
are
see if you-
extracts that he's just like flicked to a page, and this is what he's read. There
Oh.
is a third book, which, if you are curious while you're considering it, I will give you the synopsis of, or the extract from Holy Mysteries of the Great Return. If you like. Nobody wishes to know.
Oh yeah, why not? Let's
Yep.
see it.
Right.
I'll have looked at all of these
Yep,
books.
okay. The third one is,
Devour
therefore,
the books.
this is from Holy Mysteries of the Great Return. Therefore, retaliation is now our sacred duty, to prove our purity of purpose, to make manifest the will of our dreaming lords, to pick up the sacred obligation of the flesh without limit, and demonstrate the might, and bite at those who have begun to stir. Shall we wait as if paralyzed when blood frenzy is the pleasure of those whose reign shall be without end or limit?
Seems good.
That one would take you both about a month and a half to read. So,
We can both read it, or
well, when you're done with your respective things,
Yeah.
just telling you that's roughly how long it would take. It takes
well, I'll read the other one for now.
Catechism, right?
Yeah.
So the only person I can't yet do is Everett, because Everett's not here, sadly. Disappeared into the ether. It's like we
Yeah,
have
he
an
got
Everett,
slain. What happened?
and so it's
Everett
just
probably died.
Stravinsky.
Yeah.
Stravinsky,
So
you
who
have
was on?
5 weeks.
Okay. I like to do two things with
Okay.
my library use.
Your library use.
Well, kind of. I would like to try and locate that fucking bowl,
Okay.
and I would like to try and figure out if that sword is significant in any way.
Okay. You actually have someone that might be able to help you with the sword.
Yes.
You have another acquaintance that you dealt with only recently in the last arc.
What's his name? Calcium.
You have Casselar, but you also have Fred Milton.
Oh yes.
You
I
also
thought
have-
he was sort of not too happy with us. No, I was not there, was I? That was Hasse.
You have dealt.
Out of body experience.
You
Yeah.
have met him. You met him at the end of the last one as well. If you didn't meet him at the beginning, you met him at the end.
No. I showed up in the lodge.
But you were there at the beginning of the previous one.
Oh yes.
Yes, at the beginning. You met Fred at the beginning.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so you do know Fred.
Yeah, so I can go and have him roll sanity when he sees me.
Oh yes, Uncle Fred.
You can certainly go and see him if you like and ask him.
That's a long way. But
It's-
yeah, sure.
It's literally
it's
in Boston. He
easier.
lives in the same city as you.
Get the bus, you
What
lazy
is that? Not,
swine.
it's not that. Is that not the guy in the Uck?
No, well,
No.
He came to the UK with you to go look this stuff up, and then he went
Oh
home.
right. Okay. I thought it was. The guy
No.
that
He
was
he
today.
came home.
All right. Okay. Sure. I do
To
this.
Boston.
Okay, so we'll do the easy to sort out ones first, which is that
Yes.
Schmidt gets to roll on to see if he improves on rifle,
Yay.
because at his level of dude, he's gonna need a while to do it. Good news, you do.
Yay.
You do improve. You improve by 7%.
That's nice. Now I'm at 77.
Pretty good.
Yep.
It's no 92 though, just saying.
It isn't.
Gonna
Well,
medicine the shit out of you.
Like I was about to say, do you have 92 rifle?
No, I got 90's medicine.
Okay, so if I want to have like a scalpel, then I take you.
When you
but if
shoot
I want to
yourself in
get
the
like a
foot with a
sniper
rifle, I'm gonna fix you up so fucking good. You wish you would have shot yourself again.
No, see, the thing is, I don't shoot myself because I have 77.
Not only did I fix your foot, I have made it a super foot.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix you so hard that I've gone back in time to stop you shooting yourself.
Okay,
I like.
Yes.
Violet. It does not take you long to read Entering the Silver Gate. This book is author unknown, written 1924. It's very well laid out. This, unlike many of the other tomes that you have read, same for you, Daniel. Unlike many other tomes, these have been written to be quickly comprehended and understood.
Nice.
These are books for people of, you very quickly discover, for the varying levels of the organization that you are in, which is identified not as the Hermetic Order of the Silver Twilight, but the Lords of Silver Twilight.
The sort you'd buy in an airport.
The book that Violet
Airport books.
is reading refers to it being given to people who have achieved the rank of the Keeper of the Silver Gate, whereas the rank that your book is for are for the Knights of the Outer Void, Daniel.
Oh, that's good.
Right, I need a sanity check from Violet as she reads this book.
Sec.
Mm-hmm.
20.
20. Okay, you lose 1 point of sanity from reading this book.
Who's sanity? Who needs it?
You gain 3 points of mythos, bringing you up to 32, and reducing your maximum sanity to 69. No,
Nice.
68. Sorry.
You've ruined it.
Aw.
3. Ruined it. Ruined it
So
forever.
but I thought you said I was on 31 mythos.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you were on 29, which you've gained 3, so you're now at 32.
Oh, I see. Right, sorry. I thought it was
But
on
your maximum sanity goes down by the level, because your maximum sanity is now eating into your, like, your mythos is eating into your maximum sanity.
I know. I just wanted 69.
You also know that there is a spell in here that you could eventually learn, which you actually could potentially try at some point. It is a spell to bless blades.
Oh, I'll take
Summon
that.
multi-Satan.
You need to make me a sanity check as well, Daniel.
Oh. Uh, 32.
You only lose 1 sanity as well.
Glorious.
You gain 5 points of mythos.
Ooh.
Puts you up to 24.
I'm so mythos right now.
And you have 2 spells in here. One of them is described as communication by candlelight.
Oh, nice.
And the other one is called Contact the Man of 1,000 Faces.
That's guaranteed to be a winner. You can't go wrong with that one.
Wait. So, sorry.
You
can
don't
you
know
repeat
these
those?
spells, but they're in there and you can potentially learn them. One of them
Okay,
is
what-
called Communication by Candlelight.
Communication
By
by
candle.
candlelight.
And the other one is called Contact the Man of 1,000 Faces.
That sounds like a great idea. Contact the man of 1,000
faces. You could potentially learn both of them at some point.
Okay.
You won't be able to do that now because for Violet, trying to learn that spell would take 2 weeks. And for you, it will take 4. So I'll mark down that you have read this book. Catechism of the Knights of the Outer Void, and it's 4 weeks. And that is per spell, I might add. It will take you a month to try and learn the spell. And I said, was it 2 for you, Violet?
Yep.
Okay. You wanted to try and find a bowl.
Well, the sword first, then the ball.
Okay.
That's a
It's
side
not hard
thing.
to track down Fred. He has moved since the last time you spoke to him, but it's not hard to track him down.
That's good.
You knock on the door, I take it?
Do I get check and tracking?
No,
Damn it.
it's not that hard.
I knock on the door.
Eventually, he pulls the thing on the door to see who it is.
Was he
Closes it.
sighing seeing me 10 years younger?
Opens it up.
Hello.
I know who you are, but I don't want to know how. Just come in.
I moisturize.
Yes.
I show him. He is
You-
shown
he-
the sword. I found this on On men, he do stabby. Is magic?
You don't even wait for me to pour you a cup of tea, do you?
Oh, bitter.
He makes you a cup of tea. You see that he has various books open on the table. One of them is in a language you cannot read.
Belgian.
You've seen the language before in some of the other books that Violet has read, but you can't read it.
Can I library use to get an idea of the region of the language? Like if it's an Asian font or...
You can do a library use in general if you like.
I generally library use.
Okay, roll me library use.
Library. Well, you do that. Please.
Okay.
You are my rock. keeper.
No.
You
You
keep me
can see
honest.
a wide variety of topics here that are in his bookshelves. They're a bit more sparse than they were before. The first time you saw it, there's not as many books. He gets you a cup of tea, and he goes, I take it this wasn't a social call. You mentioned a sword.
Da. I get sword of man turned into dust was homunculus, or some such. Had sword. I want to see if special. Maybe I stab creature. Show him sword, the cane, and how the sword comes out.
Okay.
What does it look like, by the way?
It's basically it looks from if you hadn't known it was a actual sword cane, you'd have thought it was a walking stick. It's designed as like a walking stick with a not like a gem like handle. It's like a handle which you could easily pull.
Okay, anyone's able to draw it. It's
Yeah,
not
anyone's able to draw it.
magic.
It's not got a hidden latch or anything.
Okay.
Looks like a quite finely made weapon.
Aye. He is shown.
Okay, he is shown. He looks at it for a bit. Examines it, looks at the blade, narrows his eyes. The first thing he does is he gives it a swing in the air away from you. Makes a nice whooshing sound.
It tears a hole in the fabric of reality, and 1,000 fucking trollops fly out. What are they called?
No, nothing like that
Trilobites.
happens. It would
What
be
are they called? The things from Star Trek, the fuzzy things. Colourban. No, never mind.
Then he decides, puts it down on the table. Starts muttering to himself, and his hands start moving in a very rhythmic along with his fingers, like a rhythmic
No gang
sort of.
signs.
No. It's sort of like it's almost mesmerizing. He's muttering to himself.
Stravinsky makes an effort not to look at it.
Eventually, he puts his hand on one of his hands while the other one's doing it on the blade, and just takes a deep breath. And when she goes, ooh, there's something in there, all right. A lot of pain and suffering and agony.
It's probably mine. Stravinsky shows him the scar.
No. This has been used to drain the essence of people.
Is special for that, or is just sword that's been used?
Merely a receptacle. The blade itself is unremarkable, non-magical.
Oh.
You won't be.
So it's just like a sword, but it's really goth.
But whoever had this was using it as a font for draining power into it.
Also, so has power.
The blade, the blade part does. The scabbard, no. The cane part, no. There's nothing to that. But the blade, if you could find a way to tap into that power, you could use it as a reservoir. Until it empties. I mean, you'd have to find a way to fill it up, but I would not recommend that.
That's probably why the boy was slinging spells everywhere, because he wasn't draining his own power.
So if I cast into necklace or amulet, maybe be able to distribute to men, or with this Beric enchantment.
You'd have to figure out how the magic works. Whoever did this is a powerful and dangerous sorcerer indeed. These are the people that...
He did.
You killed him?
Ishlen.
May I ask? May I ask who it was?
He explains the spell, and the man how the spell was done and the process of making the dude.
He hands you back the weapon carefully. Listen to me, and listen to me very carefully. I do not know much about those people, but what I do know is that they are not people to be trifled with.
No, they mean.
They know of you. And now that you've probably angered them, they are going to stop at nothing to not only expunge you from the earth, but from your very souls as well.
It's normal.
And with the power that this person had to put pure magic into a blade, they could probably drain your soul before breakfast.
I tell you story, da?
Hmm?
Stravinsky regales everything that happened in the portal in grueling detail to the man.
Okay.
In a cheerful way, though. Sort of like, I go there, I meet man. He doesn't mention him by name specifically. In case this guy goes weird.
He
Doesn't
leans back in the chair as you start describing this story. Especially about the portal and...
Many hand gestures and grand tailory.
Right. You have been on an adventure. And you are very
No.
lucky to still be alive. Very lucky.
I'm okay.
I've heard, in case you were wondering, I have heard nothing of the Black Knife cult since you left to go, we left to go to England and, well, I say we, you weren't with us. When we went to England to deal with them and root them out, or tried to, I haven't heard anything of them here. We may not have been that
Well.
we may not have ultimately been successful overseas, but here at least the Black Knife cult, as far as I know, are gone.
Possibly.
But it
He
seems
explains that they seem to have absconded from the house and likely moved.
Oh, the other people.
Are those not the Black Knife? Cult?
No, the Black Knife cult's the one you were dealing with before.
I'm earthless. Okay, well then never mind.
I would ask you to keep me informed if the Black Knife cult return, but I'm sure you'll come back to me anyway and tell me.
Sure. He points to the library. You got anything in the old Rusky? You cannot read. Maybe I assist.
No, I've got nothing in Russian, I'm afraid.
Oh well.
I stick to different dialects.
The Belgian. Okay, so we know about something with the sword here. I'm
But-
gonna just before I fuck off, maybe ask if he has a lead on the bowl.
A bowl?
Da. Sabinsky explains spell.
I don't have one. I know what you're referring to, but may I ask what you're going to do with it?
Yeah, I don't know yet, but would be good to have. Is good way of getting in head of dangerous man before fight.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this. I have a few people that I could maybe ask if they know of the location of one. I'm making no promises here. That sort of stuff.
It would be pleasant.
That sort of stuff is not from this earth.
Well, Sabinsky has been elsewhere.
That's why he's saying this to you, effectively. But you've not been of this earth for a while either. Luckily for you.
Yet.
Kavinsky's an alien. I knew it.
Before
soon.
Before you go, I get the feeling you might want this. He goes into the back.
What's this?
He goes to another room and he gets something. And what he does is he gets a book and another, a thin book, and he starts flicking through. And then he goes, just
Pamphlet.
wait here a few minutes. And he starts transcribing something. Now what
That's
he's
nice of
doing is
him.
he's transcribing something in English, and then in something you have never read before. This is something
Belgian.
that doesn't even look like any language you have seen.
Swahili?
He sighs once he finishes and rather shakily closes the very thin leaf thing and goes, I hope you never have to use this. But I get the feeling if you're messing around with them, you might want that. I don't know if you want it, but one of you might want it.
Thank you.
Just... And
If-
thanks for the warning that those people are around. I might want to
MP.
move again.
If,
Maybe out of
if you
Boston.
have anything you want to get rid of, I can bin it for you. I have
No,
a-
no.
nothing?
I've already got rid of more than enough already. I'm on
If
the...
you have Satan receptacle, I put it in box. It goes away.
He gives you an incredulous look.
Did he bring the box?
I,
Fuck it.
if there's
Let's
anything,
move on.
if there's anything else, no, it's thank you and be careful out there, please.
NP. You be good now.
As you go, he does close the door and lock it quite securely. In fact, the locks go lock, 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 chain, chain, lock.
Drag of furniture.
No
Plonk it in
drag
floor.
of furniture. You have in your hands the sword cane, and you have a very thin book. We're talking like this is actually like a notebook that has been written.
Aye. Well, I go show it to the dudes in Violet and relay the information given
Okay,
and see about that bowl.
you headed back. You've relayed the information about the bowl, and you don't. That actually wouldn't have taken you that long.
But for the sake of moving
yes.
things.
I'll figure something else out for you. But
Ye-
he relays the information back. Violet, in the it took you basically quite a while to find find Fred again. In the hands of Stravinsky is not only the sword cane, which he's returned back with, because you're all sort of congregating in your general the locale of, is it Daniel's abode at the moment? You'll tend to hang out there.
Yeah, Daniel's clinic or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say before we start, something I would have done
Mm.
is buy the property of because presumably no one owns the Silver Lodge anymore, because for obvious reasons they've all left. So I would buy it because that's some eldritch shit that makes absolutely no sense for the police to get hold of that because they just want to rid there and get that would be
They're
There's
still-
there's a potential portal
They're
directly
still
into
dealing
it
with
from
that.
Satan.
They will let you know when or if an auction for the lot.
I
place.
think I would just suggest to Manningly that he wants to make sure that I'm the one who gets it and it doesn't go to auction because
shall-
otherwise, because I think he would understand if he were to auction a property that literally has 2 eldritch zones in it, just the random population, that might be a problem.
Yeah, he says that at this time it's out of his hands somewhat, but he will do what he can.
Maybe get those dudes that cleared the Corbett house. They seem to be able to deal with stuff like that.
You have in your hands as well this thin thing that was given to you by Fred. This thin notebook.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Is anyone going to look at it?
Yes.
Well, Stravinsky's probably had a look on his way over and read the English and had a look at the symbols.
Ah, you've read the English. Well, in that
Well,
case,
I mean, I might as well have a look to tell everyone
No,
if they should do it as
you
well.
briefly skimmed.
It's
you briefly skimmed, and it says it's basically it's got a small forward from Fred, and it's the words that he exactly are, to those who wish to know, the servants of the eternally slithering one.
Indeed, I'm here for it.
okay.
You have mythos, do you not?
I do indeed have mythos.
We
Yeah,
all,
but
we do. We
I
all do,
rolled
think.
for Stravinsky. You have no idea what that's referring to.
That's new. Maybe it's some mystery of
I got
some
36.
vermy stuff.
You got
Yeah.
36, so nope. Who else is rolling?
I'll roll for it. Why not? 41, so I miss as well.
Nope. You don't know exactly what that's referring to, but what you can basically see that this is It doesn't take you long at all to see what this is, Violet. This is basically a book version of. It's kind of like a Rosetta Stone. It's
For
got
the
words
mysteries
in
of the
English
worm,
and it's
maybe?
got words in a different language,
Okay.
and also how to
That's nice.
pronounce those words in that different language, like phonetically.
This sounds like good
This
news.
is not a language that you have ever seen before. Like, this is not. Not only is it not a language you haven't seen before, it doesn't conform to any, like, standards of language construction that you have seen before.
Did Violet not read the Vermis Mysteries?
I think I did.
It's like, that's a worm. No,
Oh no, wait, maybe I didn't.
it doesn't go ding in the brain.
No.
Okay.
As you are looking at this, I will get close to the end of this session. You get a knock on the door. It's loud.
And it knock we recognize?
It's a knock. You recognise that it's loud.
Yeah, we usually recognize a knock.
Is there anybody going to
Yeah.
answer?
Sure.
Send someone else to do it. Come on.
We could have our stealth German look through the curtains.
You can look through the curtains and see who it is first if you like.
We send Metal Gear Clanker to do it.
I look through the curtains.
It's a
See who it
policeman.
is. I shoot him. No, I'm just joking. It's a policeman, guys. Should we let him in?
Well, let's say hello.
You open the door, and the first thing the man does when you open the door is that he takes his hat off.
Vomits on the car.
Oh no,
Uh,
the prisoner died.
I was told that I would be able to find you here, Violet. Violet Carter, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I come bearing some bad news. May I come in?
You may.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always easier when I'm not standing in the street. Comes in, goes, I won't mince words. Your driver is dead.
Oh my god, the one person I actually liked!
Gotta get some flowers.
We went to a report of a corpse in a burned out car just off the outskirts of the city. Would you believe someone was walking their dog when they found it?
What,
Oh.
the car didn't explode considering what was in the back? Fucking
We had
trunk.
very little to identify the person, save records of his employment to you, and Manningly connected the dots pretty quickly. So, we'd just like to inform you, firstly, but we have found your driver dead.
Pretty sad. He was my
Second,
boy.
this is routine, but can you confirm to me where you were last night?
I presume I can.
You definitely can. You were here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying.
There are numerous people here that can vouch for the fact that you were here. Unless
Good,
you
good.
all decided to go out to, like, a bar or something.
Oh god. Some Brett Kavanaugh shit. Alright, yes.
No, it's like, yes, you confirm it. It's like, yeah, I Manningly said that would be as such, but I am going through the routine here. His next of kin have been informed already, and just so you know, there was something in the car
Yes.
apart from the body.
Which was?
He goes into his pocket and he pulls out a small piece of paper, crumpled up, and there's something in it. And he hands it to you. He doesn't open it up. He says, Manningly told me not to open it. He's already seen it.
Manningly is a wise man.
I will leave you to that. It is yours now. If we come up with anything about your driver, we will let you know.
Thank you.
He
How do you
excused
feel
himself.
about the burning death presented before you?
Well, I mean, has he wandered off? I want to have a look at what's on the what's it.
You are gonna unfurl it?
Indeed.
You're going to unfurl it. What it is you open it up, and there's a note written on it. But as you look at this thing, roll me a sanity check, Violet. Just you.
Not again.
Yeah, just
All right. Oh no, that's fine. 21.
21. You don't lose any sanity from seeing this, but for a moment you look into this sort of crystal-like object. You think at first it's just a crystalline stone, and then for a moment as you catch it at a particular angle, it's almost as if you see an infinity of impossibleness reflecting within it, outside it, and it just assaults your mind. But you quickly blink and turn away.
Is this the Welsh stone?
So wait, this piece of paper contains a stone enfolded within it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're now not looking directly at it, I presume.
I'm just rubbing my face and getting that real sanity loss going. Yeah, no, I'll look away.
This is when you notice that there is writing on the inside. And it says, elegantly written, "Dearest Violet,
Oh,
if you would kindly return back that which you have stolen from me, I will endeavour not to disembowel you and
rude.
consume your soul permanently.
As opposed to consume myself temporarily. This guy's-
Sincerely, not written. There's no name written, just sincerely with a comma, nothing.
Well, that's just surely. It should be faithfully, surely.
Yeah. Is it cursive at least?
It's very well written.
Oh, nice.
It is at this point, Violet, that you think you may know who wrote that and what they're referring to.
Who?
You think it may be whoever owned that really dusty tome that you stole from the bottom of a bookshelf.
At the bottom of the lodge.
Mhm. Yep,
The good old Nomi.
the Necronomicon.
Well, I mean,
Which,
you snooze, you lose, man. Come on.
and with that, the end of your investigations of the lodge, some downtime.
Did I get my bowl?
He said he'd start looking into it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
On the bright side, though, they
In the
say you
mail.
know your quality by the quality of your enemies, and this guy seems to have. He's both polite and he has good handwriting. So I feel like we're doing quite well on that.
Yeah,
the
you
down-
defeated him, so
Have we though?
You don't know who wrote
We
this.
probably didn't encounter him, presumably, because everyone we encountered is dead.
Rip.
And with that, and the fact that one of the people that have been helping you, your driver, has met a grisly end, which, by the way, you don't lose any sanity for, fortunately.
even though he was burned in the most grisly way,
You
which
didn't see
Violet
it.
has a phobia for.
You have been told it, not
Oh.
seen it. He didn't go, oh, by the way, your driver's dead, and here he is! But, and with that, more questions brought up. We'll leave it there. For
Good
it
man.
seems you have made a powerful enemy.
How many do we have at this point?
Well, let's see. Probably a fair few.
We got the drive-by gang. We got Corbett, who's probably angry wherever the fuck he went. We got.
think
we
you
got
killed
the
him.
Boston Buggerer and what?
I don't think
he's
that was
probably-
ever a problem.
Well, he's somewhere, I guess. Angry.
And so, we leave it there. And perhaps next time, the investigators won't end up getting set on fire.
Yes, I don't have that much more appearance to lose, sadly.
Well, you do. You still have 8 points. You could lose, like, 7 more.
Yeah, but I mean,
What-
that would be
happens if
social
it-
death.
What happens if it goes to 0? Can it? Do that?
It can, technically, but it will be really difficult to go down from 1 to 0.
You get teleported to a Disney film.
And so, with that, I shall bid you all adieu.
But
What's that mean?
Bye bye.
Goodbye.